Idzie.
No dobra, to czekaj.
Poczekamy te 15 sekund.
Okej, pojawiło się. Pojawił się obraz, ale jest dziwny, taki dziadowski.
Dziadowskiej osoby.
Widzisz?
To jest ten sam problem, co był 2 tygodnie temu. To coś, ten obraz by się przesyła, ale tam nie był dobrze. No teraz już lepiej, bo zniknął jakiś podwójny obraz, jest
Tak.
ale widać tylko 1/4 obrazu.
Na cały ekran, na cały ekran Teamsa wrzuć na cały.
A teraz?
Teamsa na cały ekran.
No to jest Teams.
A, przepraszam, tak jest.
Teraz jest lepiej czy gorzej?
Teraz jest o tyle lepiej, że jest jeden obraz, bo przedtem się nakładał jeszcze, ale widać tylko 1/4 lewy.
No właśnie, więc ja robiłem w ten sposób ostatnio.
A teraz tylko powiększasz lewy górny róg, to zmniejsz go. No powiększasz dalej. To już jedną łuskę tylko widać. Po prostu z drugą stroną zmniejszmy.
A teraz?
No, trochę zmniejszyłeś, dalej, zmniejszaj. A teraz się nałożył jakiś drugi obraz. O, dobrze, zdjąłeś go.
Ciekawe.
Ale jeszcze.
Ryszard, ty mówisz z tego, z YouTube'a, tak? Co widać?
To co w studiu.
A, w studio, dobrze, czyli to co, okej, bez opóźnienia.
A teraz?
W czasie rzeczywistym.
A teraz widać jeszcze ten boczny panel z uczestnikami innymi.
No to dobrze, jak widać.
Po prawej stronie. A Zbyszkowi tylko czoło widać.
O, no my tu na ekranie widzimy normalny obraz. Co
Teraz?
No nie, o, teraz już Zbyszkowi nos widać.
To może cały ten...
Może tak?
A Eli tylko czoło widać. Nie, to nie zmienia nic. Jest, to zniżyłeś teraz cały obraz, opuściłeś w dół.
Tak.
A w ogóle zjechałeś.
A teraz?
Twojej góry. Twój pulpit widać.
Poczekaj.
Wiesz co, obróć może ten komputer, bo ja widzę tutaj przecież. Może...
O, teraz podniosłeś z powrotem.
Tak.
Tylko, że widać tylko już tam, nawet Zbyszka teraz nie widać.
Poczekaj, co wybrałeś?
Ekran. A, już wiem, co zrobiłem ostatnio. Rozdzielczość ekranu jeszcze trzeba zmienić.
No właśnie, bo tutaj coś...
No teraz już Zbyszkowi całą głowę widać.
To już połowa sukcesu.
No.
I teraz rozciągnijmy.
Właśnie jakoś tak robiłem ostatnio.
Na całość.
A teraz?
Dasz cały ekran? Przyciągniesz cały ekran?
No mogę dać, ale to...
To coś zmieni? A co teraz? Co widzisz, Susie?
Ciągle dołu nie widać, z dołu nie widać, Zbyszkowi już nos widać, ale...
Czyli tylko przychwytuje, tak? Czyli to jest kwestia chyba rozdzielczości przychwytu. A jaką masz ustawioną rozdzielczość tutaj na tym na głównym ekranie?
Czy teraz jest poprawa? Teraz jest lepiej czy gorzej?
Nie, teraz jest gorzej. Dlatego, że w ogóle transmisja jest tylko tak 4:05 rano, a w tle jest twój pulpit. Widać po trzech stronach. Po brzegach widać twój pulpit.
Zrób jeszcze eksperyment. Co OBS przechwytuje? Czy przechwytuje jakiś fragment ekranu w ustawieniach, czy okno?
Cały ekran.
Cały ekran?
No to. Jak widać cały ekran.
A jest...
Ale moment, faktycznie on się kończy jakby na tym rzędzie.
Zróbmy, żeby przechwytywał
A gdzie-
okno. Okno.
Nie da się tak zrobić
Nie?
tu.
Nie ma tutaj...
Wiem, ale
Aha. Tu. Jak dodasz? Przechwyć nowe okno. Wskaż mu tego Teamsa.
o, jest faktycznie teraz.
No, po prostu nie widać dolnej części, jakiejś 1/4 dolnej części ekranu.
Teraz powinno być ok.
Nie jest ok. Teraz nałożyłeś jakieś dwa szare obrazy, ok, znikły.
Teraz musi być dobrze.
Nie, ciągle nie. Tak, teraz
A teraz? Poczekajmy chwilę.
tak, znikł twój ekran, znikł, jest czarny pasek, ale ciągle gdzieś 1/4 na dole nie widać. Na szerokość już jest dobrze.
Czyli tylko widać głowy, tak?
Tak, tylko widać głowę, stołu nie widać. A teraz jest tak jak na początku, czyli górny róg widać teraz.
Teraz?
Dalej tylko lewy górny róg.
Co to wykombinować? Bo to kwestia tych różnych przechwytywań.
No, teraz jest najlepiej, wiecie, zostawcie to tak.
Dobrze jest teraz? Tak?
Nie jest dobrze,
No właśnie.
ale nie wiem, czy coś wykonujecie, więc lepiej chyba zostawić i zacząć tłumaczyć. No, teraz jest najlepiej, jak
Dobra.
było możliwe. No, zostawcie to.
Widać co jest. To jest jakby niżej. Już ja widzę co jest.
No, dalej tylko tam czoło widać, ale już po prostu zostawcie. Chyba nic się nie uda.
Moment, się zastanawiam się, czy tego nie schować. Można ten panel uczestników tu wyłączyć?
Teamsowy panel?
Tak.
Można go tylko sprowadzić do paska prawdopodobnie. Żeby był niewidoczny. Ja tak mówię po Windowsowemu oczywiście. Nie, tutaj to nie grze. Tych ustawień jest.
Możliwość, żeby on był po prawej stronie, bo teraz macie u góry.
A moment, tu jest przecież. O, a teraz. Zobacz. Teraz będzie ok.
Nie, nic się nie zmieniło.
Musi się teraz zmienić.
Nic się nie zmieniło.
Dobra, to wróćmy do tego, co było najlepsze ustawienie i...
Już widzę.
Teraz jest najlepsze.
No to jak jest najlepsze, to...
O, teraz jest super. Znaczy, widać w końcu stół, czyli obejmujecie cały obraz, on jest troszeczkę pomniejszony, ale cały jest obejmowany. Zostawcie tak.
Dobra. Cóż to może już... A co z głosem?
Nie wiem.
Bo tu pasek mikrofonu oczywiście chodzi cały czas.
Tak.
Czyli mikrofon łapie. Raz, dwa, trzy, raz, dwa, trzy.
Raz, dwa, trzy, raz, dwa, trzy.
Raz, dwa, trzy,
Trzy, raz, dwa, trzy, raz, dwa, trzy.
Raz. Co? Sorry.
Teraz raz, dwa, trzy, raz, dwa, trzy.
Obraz się tnie.
Powinien być ok.
No tu bitrate jest 4000 i dioda świeci ładnie na zielono. No pasek od mikrofonu chodzi. Chyba już więcej...
Słychać rozmowę.
Co? Raz, dwa, trzy.
Jarek.
Słuchaj, teraz jest transmisja Majewskiego przez terapię. Słyszycie mój głos? Słyszycie głos pana Janowskiego?
Słyszysz głos pana?
Tak, 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 tak.
Tak, tak, tak.
Słyszę.
Czy mnie słychać?
Słyszałem, ale coś.
Can you hear me?
Dobrze, dobrze. Obraz, tak, obraz się przecina, nie ma
Dobra.
głosu, nie ma.
Nie ma głosu.
Zobaczmy teraz.
Czyli tylko Janowskiego głos słychać,
Dobra.
tak?
Znaczy nie, to
Moment.
ale po prostu od was nie wychodzi.
No bo ja rozumiem, że mimo, że tu w OBS-ie pasek chodzi od mikrofonu.
Raz, dwa. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Czy teraz słychać mnie?
Chyba nie słychać.
Raz, raz. Teraz? Czy mnie słychać? Nie.
Jesteś połączony
Tak, jestem podłączony.
i co, nic nie słychać. Raz, dwa, trzy. Raz, dwa, trzy. Do mikrofonu. Raz, dwa, trzy. A który mikrofon tutaj łapie?
Raz, teraz. Raz.
Raz. Nie łapie teraz.
Mhm.
Raz.
Przechwytywanie dźwięku.
Raz, dwa.
Wejścia.
Raz. Coś ustawisz na dźwięk, tak?
Zobaczmy teraz.
Raz, dwa,
Raz, dwa, raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Teraz. Teraz. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa.
Raz. Czyli nie reaguje, czyli ten mikrofon tutaj działa niestety.
Tak. Raz, dwa. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Raz, raz, raz.
Czyli tutaj z OBS-a to...
Raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Raz, 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 raz. Cały głos z sali słychać. Dobra, jeszcze dodamy jedno. Wejście dźwięku. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa. Raz, dwa. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa, raz, dwa.
Posługujesz na YouTubie, tak?
Nie. Jarka pytam.
A, jak?
Słucha, z YouTube'a.
To ja sobie pójdę, jak już coś...
Dobra. Teraz powinno być ok. Teraz raz, dwa, trzy. Raz.
Okej.
Dobra. Okej. Jestem ciekawy teraz. Dobra. Thanks for inviting me to this debate. Welcome on all the attendees and internauts. All the last month made our eyes wider open. It indicated attitudes. Okay. All the news coming from Ukraine are related to our history, Poland history, and Iron Curtain, Soviet Union occupation. Rasta. Teraz
it makes me happy that all activities are spontaneous. It triggers good potential of our it shows solidarity. Of course, it can be kind of forcing activities and forcing other people to be in alliance. Because it's supposed to be based on separate countries, based on principle varieties, as it used to be for years. It was in Christian manner, in Latin manner. We have to go back to Latin legacy, because everything was based on the Schumana thought. We have to go back to the principles based on Christian fundamentals. Christian-based. Europe is soul-based. Europe, it is invention of our principles: human being, solidarity, freedom of human being. It is related to the Pope thought we have to go back to otherwise it's going to be a dead end, empty conceptualism. As Professor Professor Tishner said, it is related to this idea. Okay. It is based on Belarus, Poland, Ukraine, and partially Lithuania. Nowadays, so Lithuanian and Belarusian people mention about it, and they indicate how separate Europe right now is. We are losing this unity and solidarity of the previous times. That's it. I think you'll have. Thanks, Mr. Minister. Okay. The next. Okay, Mr. Wawniczak, thanks a lot. So we really appreciate that, and share your thoughts about it. Okay, can you guys hear me? Yeah, it is. We are ahead of new challenges, so that's why cooperation with other nations is crucial right now. And as you can see, Slovak and Czech people understand what's going on. It is especially like it was in 100 years ago, because those guys really understand that. I really regret that 100 years ago Hungarians understood that, but right now they don't. It is kind of paradox. Of course, we will never escape that. And some efforts done in order to destabilize Europe is really serious. And we are, as leader of Eastern and Central Europe, we want to convince the other part of Europe to do that and to follow these examples. And Russian Federation and Russia really make some efforts on it. if competences would be in Berlin and Paris, we will be in a much worse case than we are right now. We still remain some privileges to control the situation. And some leaders act really weird in relation with Putin. Based on agreements, actual agreements, and that's it. I don't want to extend this history. And Robert Schuman thought really overcome 1,000 years history struggles. In this part of Europe, so we had a lot of wars, battles, and finally Robert Schuman made serious efforts about it. And that time the priority was based on technologies of coal and steel alliance, and the common institutions were involved in this project, and the countries damaged during the Second World War have been put on the right path of developing. And finally, from the 70s of the last century, some people get control on that. With this challenge, we have to struggle, and will struggle in the past, in the future, and the history is not over, as Fukuyama wrote. Europe is not a Europe of regions. Europe is Europe of nations. And right now, so environmentalists are not the people responsible for our safety and freedom. By the way, so the people involved in LGBT movements are not responsible for our safety. It's kind of fake alliances. We have to concentrate on this project. So the next speaker is going to be Dr. Janowski. Okay, so for the quality, because regarding to Tomasz Ławniczak's words, it reminds me the history when we were obliged to be a France, and coal and steel alliance was an alliances based on enemies. these mortal enemies were parts of Steel and Coal Alliance. And it reminds me pilgrimage of John Paul II and the words of the Pope. Thank you a lot. And next year we will have 16th anniversary of okay, so we have to utilize this anniversary to propagate his thoughts. Indeed. And this year on September 3rd we will have a 60th anniversary. Okay, so we are invited to organize a committee of, as well as Parliament member Tomasz Ławniczak is invited. I really appreciate that. I think these guys are supposed to be the leaders. And finally, one minute for summarizing. Okay, former ministers Cebulski. I will go back to the battle of Warsaw when Polish and Lithuanian army won a battle against Russia, and we have major conclusions about it. I experienced this one during the conferences, for international conference, when I faced Russian people, and finally years and after years ago, when I as former minister, I saw and everybody calls other people name. Everybody knows how Russian people used to be, but of course I remember the history which was done 500 years ago. Battlefields are arenas and the theaters. Of course, we have to be a part of this debate, but of course we have to be aware of Russian activities. And simultaneously, Russian people propagate their thoughts under the table. Thanks for all your conclusions. We can summarize this. Just carry a Robert Schuman flag, and let's go on. You guys have proven that and regarding solidarity with Ukraine and hosting Ukrainian people at our homes. It's not just giving hugs to Ukrainian people, and this sensitivity and unity and solidarity open some perspective in the field of economics. It just says that king is naked. As Robert Schuman said, unity of nations is the principle. Robert Schuman had different opinion about it. There is no relation, there is no unity, solidarity. Everybody acts at its own, and finally these activities turn into aggression. Schuman Thought Institute attempts to integrate people and to build some base and integrate people sharing the same thought, this same point of view. And the presence of these distinguished speakers, as you can see, so we have a lot of wise people being a part of Schuman Thought Institute. And in this way, youth people, members of Schuman Institute are being formed right now. When Robert Schuman was 70 years old, formed a youth people community. So we have to go this way, and everybody is needed. From Poland as well, from international communities. We have to build a mechanism, instruments, and other ways to integrate these societies. And the upcoming 60th anniversary of death of Robert Schuman is going to be great opportunity to celebrate that. Thanks a lot, all of your efforts are really appreciated. Special thanks go to Robert Ławniczak and former Minister Cebulski, Dr. Janowski. And you guys are representatives of white society speaking the same language. Thank you a lot. In minutes we'll have Holy Mass according to Robert Schuman. dedicated to Robert Schumann. Everybody is invited to participate in Robert Schumann Society. We share the same rules, and we really want you guys to participate in this society. Thank you a lot. Wszystko jest ok. Dobra.
Musi chyba pierw wodę puścić.
To ja puszczam to.
Jest okej.
Dobra.
To chodzi po rzeczy idzie. Tutaj godzina zaczyna się płaczeć.
No jak to się rozpocznie? Trzymaj. Raz, dwa, trzy. Nie wiem, czy teraz mnie słychać? Sprawdzałeś, jak ten strumień działa? Sprawdzałeś, jak ten strumień działa? O, moim zdaniem jest ok.
Jest jakiś kłopot.
Bo Jarek
Ja
sprawdzał.
sprawdzałem u siebie na swoim odbiorniku. Jest płynnie.
To jest cały czas ten panel Ceremonia? Czyli z Tipsa nie zmieniamy kanału?
Nie, wszystko
Okej.
Ewentualnie jak ktoś sobie życzy, to na zewnątrz. Sprawa jest taka, że każdy z nas, kto się jest napisał na ten obiad, płaci 23 zł i 18 osób. Już policzymy.
Z którego teraz korzystasz z netu?
Ze swojego.
A, ze swojego.
Z LTE, tak.
Dobra.
Schodzimy na dół.
Myślałem, że to jest kobiety, z tych naszych, nie?
Nie.
Ten obiad konsumujemy.
I moim zdaniem wszystko jest ok.
No to cieszymy się.
No co? Dobra, to ja będę...
Dlaczego ci tu chodzą ten pasek?
Który pasek?
To jest, aha, bo to jest Tips, tak?
To jest ODB.
To jest OBS, tak?
Tak, OBS.
Dobra. A powinien tylko twój mikrofonowy chodzić.
Tak, ale to jest... Ja to sobie ustawię. To jest
Aha,
ok.
okej.
Teraz ja Panią tu proszę, bo Zbyszek, gdzie jest Zbyszek? Z drugiej strony. Ja będę płacił, Instytut zapłaci.
Ja już jestem połączony. Tak się działa.
Trzeba...
Dobra, to my lecimy w takim układzie.
To odpowiada
Nie
za
wiem.
grupę młodzieży.
Jest.
wchodzimy. O. Nie. Wyjedziemy, dlatego że ja będę mobilnie działał.
Jasne.
To zobaczcie. Na razie. Masz moją tyczkę?
Tam jest taka funkcja leżenia.
Będziemy to poznać, czy tu chcemy poznanie, nie?
Kurde. Nie da się włączyć tego kabla tu. Do zasilania.
To co to być?
Nie wiem, może mi starczy baterii, nie wiem.
Weź sobie leżankę.
Jak to się robi? Przy którym? Masz taki przycisk ten na samej górze. O, tu. Nie wchodzi to. Spróbuj podłączyć pod port. To tu jest ładowania, nie? Też. Czy nie ma?
Jest ładowanie.
Działa. Jarek, jeszcze ładowarka do komórki. Ona musi też być.
Cześć Krzysztof Walczewski.
Absolutna cisza teraz. Wziąłem ten, chyba nie wziąłem ten ładowarki do telefonu. Dobra, mam. Proszę ciszej, dlatego że ja streamuję cały czas.
Ładowarkę możesz położyć na YouTube systemu ładowarki. Jedziemy? O której jest ten początek?
please turn on your microphone? We can start right now. Welcome back. That's the right time for summarize the last 2 weeks. Okay, so the next panel starts at 2:45. I welcome young generation from Ostrów Mazowiecka. Okay, I especially welcome the teacher from that school. Okay, please say some words about your initiative. We come from Ostrów Mazowiecka. We took also high school and elementary school students. The youth interested in Robert Schuman initiative. Thank you a lot. We are saying hi to leaders of the city as well as teachers from Ostrowia Mazowiecka. All the teachers from all the schools. We attended a meeting right there. So over 600 people attended the event. We are very glad to having you right here. We sell a lot of potentials. As I know, Pilecki Museum is from right there. There is no exhibition, but it's going to be open soon. Yeah, Pilecki's wife comes from the same city. I was very impressed by the Pilecki history. Because you guys took care of that, and I'm really impressed with that. It was close to Brandenburg Gate. It turned out to be really interesting thing for German people. Hitler's martyrs and made an impression of these people, and our intention is to promote the guys like Pilecki. I think Pilecki could be promoted to take the position of saint. Okay, don't you think I'm exaggerating that? Okay, so Pilecki figure is especially important for us. We are very proud of it, and having this museum, I recommend visiting Ostrowa Mazowiecka. I don't know when the museum is going to be open, but it will be soon. And right now the exhibition is going on. Pilecki Museum is worth visiting. We are quite small city, but you guys are invited to visit. When we talk to the leaders of the city, so we have scratched the surface of our idea. Robert Schuman thought. Polish so we mentioned about Polish companies, Polish international corporations. We were trying to encourage Polish companies to form joint venture companies with Polish companies. Am I overrating that? No. We promote culture. We do our best to promote our city. Okay, so you promote culture as well as economic culture, Christian-based school. Okay, the next speaker is going to be Marek Oktaba, because for the last 2 weeks we had been concentrating on Christian school as well as international people. Okay, I'm addressing my words to all the people from foreign countries. So we have to concentrate on applied Christian school and teaching, because practical studies are supposed to be related to Christian teaching. I'm an economist, so these words are supposed to be addressed to the people interested in talent promoting, values, the values which haven't been explored yet. I would like to you, Mr. Oktaba, to say about it, about recruiting new students, about the plans related to Christian teaching school, because as I know, we have the people interested in studying at this university from Lithuania. I would like to give my voice to Elżbieta Pawlak, because I want to remind Ella ran the path of Robert Schuman. This journey is 6 days long journey, because Ella was partially interested in participating in this journey, and finally she accepted that, and she started writing poems. It's not a joke. She was granted by talent, and right now she writes at least one poem per one day. It's not a joke. Because all her works are related to Schumann thought and Institute of Robert Schumann thought. Christian activity is us, and he was observing it, how lives going. Probably we were living in under pressure from some fears. Robert Schumann took really distinct and serious positions. Let Schumann thought make our distance to God closer. Goodness is ahead of us. Thank you, sir. Okay, okay, Mr. October. From our point of view, so we would like to confront direct ideas of Robert Schumann and the people who were involved in integration process, as well as Christian teaching idea, and we want to confront these issues with the youth and the life and professional life, cultural life, as well as political life. So idea was to confront usually in-room services and ideas to normal life, and to translate these ideas into the form well understood by teachers, officials, young people and older people, and in different ages. To make all these issues much more useful, and from this reason we have formed a Christian Teaching University dedicated to Robert Schumann and John Paul II. This class takes 2 semesters. So every class takes place every single week. After the classes, everybody can write their own thesis. To make all these issues much clearer. Serious challenge for young people, and to get familiar with imagination, and to realize how Christian teaching can change our vicinity. Christian thought is not well recognized because after 1989 thought that so we have been colonized by because for some people Christian teaching ideas was a barrier. But it turned out to be really efficient. Neoliberal politics turned out to be really inefficient. But it makes the disparity between poverty and rich people even wider. Because we're still working on common good. Also, we have to help the people at lower level to make them grounded. Minister is the one who has to act in some certain cases, but not at all. Do you agree with the latest sentence, recent sentence? So what do you think, how the people connecting from the internet perceive you as a speaker? Okay, so let's adjust a camera because we want to have all attendees visible for you guys. Okay, I can see Violetta because you are alumni of the university, graduate. Can you share your thought about the university and say some words why this university is worth studying? Okay, please come to us and share the same table. Come to us. Let's take a seat right here. Thank you a lot. I haven't expected that. Okay, please share with us your experiences. Why you have decided to take a part of this in studying right here. Did you decide deserve getting your diploma. Okay, I took a part in this project because I thought this idea is worth studying, because I love meeting people who share the same ideas and thought about it with me, and having some public achievements and accomplishment. I decided to invite some people to take a part in this, and they finally get involved, and they formed some groups, and finally finally we have formed electric science and so we have decided to fill a niche in terms of electric poverty. This society was from intention of to help people in cases when and in cases when clean air struggle with some odds in cooperation between people and regions. So we have a lot of elements in this study. And okay, so right now, we are at organizing level. Okay, so what's to say? We right now, we have some other project in our minds, but this project is related to 3Cs initiative. It's not about cooperation with between professors, because we made friends each other in this community. Being really busy, so I found some time to meet with the staff. What was the exam really stressful for you? Of course, so I should put some efforts on it, because it's kind of brainstorm. Everybody had something to say about it, and to add some conclusion, and finally it creates a new community. But of course, it doesn't end at this level, because friendships we made and contacts remain forever. And we are glad that we have people involved in business and professional activities are our students. So, of course, for example, our students were PhD holders, as well as master holders. And Kasia is one of the examples. You guys can communicate with us right now, so it should be interactive. What do you want to say about it? So you guys have any questions? Please come to the microphone, because we want to have make it heard by the people from the internet. Please come to us as close as you can, because Okay, I want to ask about some exemplar thesis topics. Okay, Violetta and Marek, so maybe say some words about it. Okay, the attendees speakers had some privileges to find the topics and subjects which were comfortable for them. It depends on the needs, and some people who have, for example, disabled children, and the people who had a large experience can combine these things into one, because the university can collocate these ideas, and it's very beautiful. Every topic was found by a speaker. It was not suggested by our staff, but of course it should be related to our idea and Christian teaching thought about the disability and the Christian teaching were the examples of the most popular examples. And for example, electric sciences was one of the examples. I think working in groups is good example, because we learn how to be animators of Christian teachings and ideas. Okay, so I can give you guys a really good example realized by a group. Some say, okay, let's say engineers. I can call you Jacek an engineer, because you don't have hold the engineer title, but you can say some words about it. Okay, Jacek, please share your thoughts with us. Stay right here. Okay, Violetta, thank you. Okay. So this issue turned out to be really complicated from a law point of view, and amelioration was critical. Okay, this infrastructure is appreciated in some cases. Okay, this subject is really technical, but beyond technical studies, we have to distinguish people which fee for distributing rainwood rain is fair for people. How market environment allow for that. Make local community handle with this case, because water keeps us alive, but of course, but in some cases, in the case of flood, this same water can take your life back. related to get inspired by Robert Schumann thought, okay, stay here. We can't dominate our discussion by just one single topic. Right now, so it's to analyze how Robert Schumann acted in some circumstances. Okay, so I have some questions to you guys to rate how much Dr. Kappa convinced people to do that. Would you enroll to this university after the words spoken? Okay. Would you guys enroll to this university? Okay, I can count at least three people interested in enrolling to this university. Okay, so we have to work on it because we still have too few people. Okay, so okay, would you enroll? Okay, why not? So because I'm still studying. Okay, it's interesting for me and it's worth thinking about it. Of course, it makes reasonable to synthesize that. Of course, I'm joking. It's we don't have to be so serious about it. Yeah, Sunday and Saturday mornings are not so comfortable for people who are really busy, but all the lectures are recorded, so there is no collision between the gatherings at weekend program studies at our university. Okay, so let's make some space. Okay, so the next speaker is Aneta Fromczak, because Aneta Fromczak is one of the co-author of the book about Robert Schumann, being a co-author of this book, and the other co-author is students of our university, and okay, it turned out to be really impressive for this student, and this topic prompted our student to write a book, to co-write a book. Okay, so we have some evidence how much important this topic for the student was. I got this book only 2 days ago, and finally I have read only half of this book. Okay, but after reading the whole book, so I will share my thought about it, and being as a researcher and scientist. So I think everybody needs to have this book, because we are not promoting this book, but of course when we have to go the path of Robert Schumann, we have to get familiar with his thought. And this book gives us an opportunity to get familiar with Robert Schumann thought, to follow his thought and ideas in his manner, to get familiar with this figure. We have some French that. Please to be as consistent as you can, because everybody deserves to read this book. And finally, so we can make a poll to assess how many people are interested in buying this book. I'm theology doctor and philosophist, because I'm a teacher at Robert Schumann High School. It was one of the main motives to, because our staff and teachers are not familiar with Robert Schumann, especially with the books written in Polish. I think good practice is grounded by good theory. Of course, to follow his example, we have to get familiar with how good human being Robert Schumann was, to show his personality, his ideas, and his Eucharist and friendship with God. Being a journal cover figure. How to get inspired by regular Holy Mass. It got me inspired by that, and to practice this my religion. And in this book, all these messages and news are collected, and we get inspired by English written words taken from the website of Robert Schumann. The book redirects to the articles written in journals. The book consists of the issues related to present concerns, not only about in political sense, and in constant relation relating to the values in pandemic, and agreements based on money and business are not sufficient. Otherwise, all the alliances will be ruined. I'm not a specialist, but I'm aware of these values. We have to call the values in the proper way. It's not brochure edition and release. And the stars are explained by the values which were really close to Robert Schumann thought. Okay, we have okay, I'm addressing my words to Tomasz Piszak. Can you hear us? Okay, I can hear you guys. Because Mr. Tomek has read this book, some quotations you just cited made you interested in taking a part of Robert Schuman Society. What made you interested in this society? Because these authors got inspired some other people to be okay. It's just nothing is behind that. How it happened to and what made you inspired by Roman Schuman? What is your goal? And okay, thank you a lot. Okay, yeah, venerable servant of Robert Schuman. I heard a lot about Robert Schuman, politologist and sociologist. At the beginning, I have read an article in Christian newspaper, and that time it made me interested in Robert Schuman. It caused my contacts with Professor Krysiak and President Ryszard Kruszkowski, and I was trying to make my knowledge about it as deep as I could. Okay, I was also inspired by Prime Minister Olszewski. Who our homeland will belong to. So we have based our society according to Christian fundamentals. I have read constitution of the society, and I thought that it is something for me. But some things took some time to think about it. And I decided to create common society. I want to enhance this society, to create new society in the manner of my close values. In this society, we build relations. What is your main goal in this society? Can you give us some examples of your activity? Okay, so building a group in society in 3Cs initiative is a good example. Okay, so we are organizing a forum which is going to be held between in late September, according to Robert Schuman activity, where according to this example, so we have to build this same. And having the people sharing the same thought and the same values, we can make our life better and our world better. And the people of the values can find a niche for building the values. Here's a good example of building society and building a society as something especially important for us and for for whole society and community. I'm very glad we have our festival is patronated by our Prime Minister. Okay, what kind of people we have in this society? Really serious pros of the society is power, because we have truly dedicated people, dedicated and committed to religion and committed to each other. Schumana was not unmarried, so what do you think? We have only singles? We are very open. What do you mean? So do we have women, men? We have married people, widowed people. So we have different people. I can distinguish so women clubs. So okay, so what do you think to summarize your ideas? Okay, I want to invite all the people with the same thought. And the people who want to change the environment are invited. I invite all the people. And finally, so everybody is invited, because we build a beautiful society and common good. Okay, thank you a lot. Thank you a lot for your consistent speech. Okay, so right now, so let's arrange a poll to assess how many people are interested in enrolling to this study. We have a lot of underage people. Let's assess how many of you guys are interested in this. I'm not retired, but you guys can marginalize me. Okay, so everybody is invited. So with it's example of Professor Gebhardt being 28 years old and Robert Schumann as a 50 years old can cooperate. Okay, let's see how wise you are. Thank you a lot. Okay, so this conversation was made in order to assess how the same thoughts are important for us. Promotion and sewing the same seeds. Yeah. And finally, and cost and inspiration. English written and French written books are kind of barrier for some people. And I really appreciate your effort. What are you guys count on? Tomek is one of the examples, many examples. Read a book and put this book away. Okay. I want to add in this publication, so we have illustrations from school journey. And finally, so I thought start adding illustration from this journey would be great. And we have some portraits made by Robert Schumann students. We have schedule of Robert Schumann life. We have a survey of Wanderlust of Robert Schumann. Yeah, it makes sense to make it as consistent as it can be, because Robert Schumann had to be taken to death camp. And of course we have some addition. And this appendix is also concentrated on Robert Schumann life. Of course, it makes sense to convince people, to encourage people to pray for Robert Schumann, and we have all these issues collected in this book. And finally, we have anthem on Robert Schumann, and the other prayer is concentrated on beatification of Robert Schumann. Of course, it makes sense to let the anthem popular. We including me in this project. All the further releases are going to be distributed. Okay, as you said, I will be a director, but I don't want to force it. Several dozen are supposed to be available in this library. What is the population of Ostrowa Mazowiecka? Okay, 22,000 people are living here. One by for people should be in this society. Okay, I think it's a really interesting idea. I'm really convinced that you will be promoting this book. But I think I'm pretty sure that you'll purchase this book. Of course, in this city we have Spirit dedicated to Robert Schumann. Because all these efforts implement the same idea, and we as institutes of Schumann thought of course we don't need a special statue or monument. Back to the book. We have prepared some materials about Robert Schumann concentrated competition. So it would mean that at least 100 releases are supposed to be distributed among the people living right here. Okay, 10% is 1 million to spread. Okay, do you wanna add something? Thanks for inviting me, and thanks for sharing the same fascination. By the way, so our alumni of our high school got this book. Of course, we can spread this book for free. So if any of you guys are interested, just come to us, and everybody will get a free release. Everybody can get one release for free, so I think it's pretty good. Of course, it can cause be convinced to buy the next printing of this book. Okay, so we have right now only 15 minutes left to summarize. Okay, can you focus your camera on this book, because I want to see its cover. Okay, thank you. I want Ryszard Krzyżkowski to say some words on Robert Schumann's journey, to convince the people to take a part of in the further journey, because everybody is invited to enroll to the upcoming journey, which is going to be on in September, late September. Okay. Okay, so I have an opportunity to say some words about the Robert Schumann journey. Okay, I think we can share with you guys some illustration from this journey. We usually meet with Strasbourg, Metz in France, and we have 2 layovers. And the next stop is going to be a monastery where Robert Schumann and Konrad Adenauer usually stopped at. All in all, so we have again by bus, and finally, so the journey takes whole day. Of course, we have pros and cons, and this way, of course, it makes us really tired, but we make our best to make atmosphere as good as it can be. Of course, it is great an occasion and opportunity to make some friends and to get to know each other. The next day is concentrated on sightseeing of Robert Schumann household. Okay, so we just jumped into the middle of the journey. We are in Metz. It was in early June, because it is associated with the anniversary of Robert Schumann's death. Okay, the cathedral in Metz is really tremendous, and as you can see, we have a lot of ill people gathered right here, and a lot of people on wheelchairs, disabled people, and of people on wheelchairs. And as you can see, we have with special bandanas. And as you can see, we have quarter of Ukrainians from Lviv. In cathedral and in the church and in other places, this quartet performed live. And finally, so we are in Strasbourg. At the first and at the second time, we have take a look at the Parliament and the conference was at in this location. We had 4 panels. As you can see, the rounded room was surrounded by screens and microphones. And it simulated that we are in plenary room. And this particular picture was taken from balcony. And probably you guys know this household of Robert Schumann right now. When Robert Schumann used to live for years. And everybody can sightsee Robert Schumann household. As you can see, similarly to Robert Schumann, Professor Krysiak is sitting behind the desktop of Robert Schumann. And in this particular place, one of my acquaintance was inspired sitting behind the same desktop. And it still goes on. And across the street of Robert Schumann household, we have a grave of Robert Schumann, and it was opportunity to concentrate on a pray. And we are actually by the monastery, because we were visiting this monastery right now, so we are in the garden. Beautiful 1,000 years old monastery, Benedictine. Okay, we have only 1 minute left. The goal was familiar with Robert Schumann figure, his heart, his brain, his mind, and his vision on Europe. But of course, the one you guys take a look at right now is a different project. Day was concentrating on participating in lectures on Robert Schumann life, and the all the materials about Robert Schumann were collected, and I think the lecturer is really familiar with his accomplishment and his vision about coal and steel alliance. And being in Strasbourg, we can get familiar with the European Union in present shape, and how much different the present shape is from Robert Schumann thought and vision. Of course, it is very important because we can get familiar, and I think a lot of people in Poland are not aware of how many decisions are made in Brussels. We can feel the spirit of Robert Schumann right here, and everybody is invited. And Robert Schumann and Robert Krzyżkowski is the leader of this project, and more likely some group from Lithuania, from Greece, from Hungary, and as well from Poland will be present in this journey. I think it was worth to include in this journey young people from Ostrowos, Mazowiecka. What do you think? It is doable? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks really interesting. Okay, one more. The deadline. The journey will start on September 11. So, okay, please memorize this date. Okay, Mr. President, so please contact Mayor of Ostrowia Mazowiecka, because as I remember, at least 600 people attended the meeting with me in Ostrowia Mazowiecka. This of course is underage students should go with his guardians. can vote. Who's going to go? Okay, please hand up. Please hand up. I can't see young people from hands of young people. Probably you guys are really afraid. Okay, I'm really stoked of sharing the thoughts and how spontaneous your remarks were. And that's the way how we act in this society. We have some delay, but everybody is invited to the dinner, which is going to be served downstairs, I think. Okay. The break stops at 3:45. At 3 o'clock, a jazz concert is going to start. And the quartet is going to rehearse right now. And of course some rearrangement of and this stage is going to be arranged slightly. Okay, so please be a few minutes before. And the concert is going to be really, really good. Okay, so we have well-known and recognized jazz musicians right here. Everybody is invited, and some of the musicians were in the bands of Namysłowski group, and the other bands are personally not familiar with. And finally, at 5 o'clock, and at 5:15 sharp, we will have a summarizing panel. I want to invite to the last panel a minister and chancellor of Robert Schuman University and the other people, and we will manage it, I think. Okay, thanks a lot, and see you guys in some time. Okay, thank you a lot, and see you guys soon. Okay, this past part of the panel is concentrated on the Polish community abroad, and that's the right time to summarize. In this panel, we have already talked to regions, and everybody was interested in taking part in this project. As well as we have to initialize this framework in embassies. For example, let's have consider we have Polish producers of windows, and the builders making business abroad, and this builder would buy windows only from Polish companies. These companies, and these barriers are supposed to be minimized, and in this project, so universities, corporations, and the companies would be cooperated. So we initialize cooperation between companies in order to minimize the barriers, current barriers. And finally, so we are building advising board from the ministry. The other conclusions. The other conclusions say that every unit we contacted with was interested in collaboration. Thanks for summarizing and thesis. Okay, I would like to ask Minister Cebulski to summarize and to share your thoughts on it. What would you like to add? And it makes sense, as usually, as this kind of initiative. And in the near future, I will be a co-business partner of the company, which will be responsible for minimizing barriers in business. Okay, nobody will never know what's going on until they have an issue and a problem to solve. Okay, so as minister, so I would like to keep my mind as much away from politics as we can, because keeping it at general level is much better. My support is okay. I was invited to senior program by Ministry of Healthcare. As every one of you guys, the goal is to be ambassador of Schumana thought and to spread the word about it with other community members. And okay, maybe 2 other words about the Genesis, and 1 word about Polish community abroad. The plan is to integrate Polish community abroad, to collaborate, because acting together, so we'll allow to integrate and allocate funds. It would be better optimized. As
Institute of Schumana thought we would like to initialize these activities at different levels. So in this way we have bilateral operations. And in this way, our product can be a kind of vehicle of improving volume of exportation. And in this way, it leads to a patriotism in terms of business operations. And in this way, so everybody who would be interested in collaborating is invited. And in this way, so everybody who would be interested in collaborating is invited.
So in general, it would provide to eliminating barriers and solving the problems existing in present operations.
I would like to ask Mr. Chancellor, Chancellor of Robert Schuman, of Robert Schuman University. Because the university is accredited by the Ministry of Education. We are actually thinking of creating new divisions of education. And the next division of teaching will be concentrated on Polish community abroad. Okay, please summarize the things. Of course, we don't expect you to present teaching program. Okay, so our program is quite innovative and novel because this initiative is created by Schuman Thought Institute and Dr. Radecki. Who is the main driving force of these studies which are intended to start. Of course, it is
quite big challenge, and it this combination of companies and universities maybe it can be really helpful in the future in the field of cooperation between universities and companies. I fully support everything what Dr. Radecki said. This perspective, I mean, patriotism is worth supporting, as well as everything what Professor Krysiak said. Because it can affect the mission and our future. That's it about our goals and perspectives, and the direction to go. Okay, maybe let's collaboration between universities and corporations is a good idea, because usually at universities business practitioners are employed. It should be a leading thought. As Professor Krysiak, who is because as similarly to Professor Krysiak, who is practitioner as well as lecturer. I believe people who are skilled lecturers as well as skilled practitioners are the best combination. Thank you a lot. Okay. Now it's the right time for the youth. We are talking about a young generation of Schumana in 3Cs initiative. the plan is to integrate young people of the 3Cs initiative. I don't mean newbies, I just mean people who are semi skilled and semi practiced. Me as a half practitioner and half lecturer, I would say that this combination is perfect. Okay, Piotr, so that's your turn right now, and extend our discussion. I want to introduce the speakers. Kamil from Young Parliament, Bartek from Ostrów Mazowiecka, the president of board in Ostrów Mazowiecka. And in this way, so we would like to introduce once again youth generation in which is going to be held in Krasiczen. Okay, so I want to ask the first question to Bartek and address. Leaders are needed in the 3Cs area as well in region at the local level. Thank you a lot. Thanks for inviting me. I am representative of youth from my university. Our manor is open for any suggestions, and it's Oksana who supports us. And we feel here by attendees. I would like to start with the main thought. The main thought is collaboration at council board and different levels. The cooperation is the most important. And of course it is to find the right person for the position. Okay, I think that's it. Bartek, what feature are needed for a leader? I think the leader should be followed by the people, and in this way, so the leader should help and support the people cooperate with him. For example, in my case, my ideas are not my ideas. It's just ideas of council board members. Thank you, Bartek. Okay, we have scratched the surface of collaboration at cities and town levels. What do you think about cooperation at voivodeship level? Okay, I'm addressing my question to Camille. Okay, please share your thoughts about it. How would you like to act in these circumstances? According to the former speaker words. Young people can be isolated from the other conversation members. For example, in our Silesian region, at voivodeship parliament, Silesian parliament level, so everybody is open, and we would glad to cooperate with each other, and we will make our best to make the young people heard by the others. In my personal case, I try to collaborate with authorities at our level. Nobody can be accepted from the conversation, because every single vote matters a lot. Because this kind of cooperation opens perspectives. You asked about structures building. First of all, contacting with young generation council boards, because this community knows its structure better, the best. For example, I know my region very well, but I don't know the vicinity of our town and region. So everybody from particular vicinity known its vicinity better, the best. We are open for international collaboration. We contacted our equivalents from Hungary. Okay. Say something more about a role of young council boards. As everybody knows, authority is not centralized, is spread among the regions. As council board in a city makes a decision on the future, so we have the same in the case of of young generation. It's more advising board, it's more supportive board, more than institution, more than president, in different aspects of, for example, related to young generation and youth. Because they can such as pacts, projects, and law changes in the future. Two reflections about it. I want to thank you guys. The dialogue you have underlined, and that's how Schumana worked. The accent was put on dialogue. It's Benedictine mentality. Schumana was formed in Benedictine manner as dialogue ends, war starts, and outbreaks. Schumana was okay. Thanks for an opportunity for this reflection. Thanks, Camille, and thanks, Mr. Professor. I will start from
I to jest bardzo ważne, że właśnie chcemy na zasadzie łączenia ludzi, na zasadzie wspólnej pracy tworzyć właśnie jedność, tworzyć pokój, tworzyć solidarność, też tą europejską, tą trójmorską tutaj, więc myślę, że to jest też niezmiernie ważne. I tutaj właśnie może w perspektywie tego właśnie Trójmorza, w perspektywie właśnie tego zjazdu w Krasiczynie, tych aż w sumie 14 tematów, bo przypomnę jeszcze, że wczoraj właśnie na panelu dotyczącym tego forum omawialiśmy właśnie 14 tematów tej konferencji.
think the worst thing is to stop communicating each other, and dialogue is the most important. Because every single country can offer something for the other members. You have to collaborate. Better to find a compromise instead of stop talking about it. I think the differences between us make us even stronger. Okay, let's switch topic and how you see the cooperation in the 3Cs initiative? What is the area to focus on? Maybe science, maybe to unify the education standards.
Ja bym się skupił przede wszystkim na tym, że Europa ma to do siebie, że zawsze była swego
I
rodzaju
would focus on primarily on the fact that
język łaciński,
we
który
are
był,
always
można powiedzieć,
there.
językiem powszechnym, który się rozlawał po
periods
całym
of
świecie.
serious
Nasza
effects.
historia, nasza kultura, która była praktycznie jednolita.
Of the
Choćby
list,
liturgia tutaj w
of
Europie,
the list,
w całej Europie mieliśmy jedną liturgię, nie byliśmy tak podzieleni jak inne krańce świata. Piotrze, odpowiadając wprost na Twoje pytanie, na wszystkich płaszczyznach. Dlatego, że niezależnie to, co robić będziemy, jeżeli będziemy robić to wspólnie, to będzie to po prostu dobre, będzie się to rozwijało dalej i wszystkie te płaszczyzny, niezależnie czy to będzie nauka, czy to będzie współpraca gospodarcza, czy
to będzie promowanie naszej wspólnej historii i tego, co nas wszystkich jednoczy. To wszystko, jeżeli będziemy to robić razem,
and depending on whether we will do it together, and this whether will be silence.
Przez wieki i tym została zbudowana cywilizacja łacińska w Europie. Stała inicjatywa Trójmorza, która jest szansą,
And the Tourist Initiative,
państw mniejszych, ale
which
nie
is
tylko,
a chance
bo
for
większe państwa także mogą bardzo
the
dużo na
countries.
niej skorzystać i nie tylko państwa, które do samego Trójmorza należeć będą, czy należą. Bo taka inicjatywa, która może pokazać, że my się nie chcemy łączyć w jedno państwo, jak to obecnie jest w Unii Europejskiej podnoszone, tak? Złączmy się w jedno państwo, bądźmy jednym wielkim państwem z jednym rządem, centralnym
that if you want to combine it all and raise like this,
podkreśla, bądźmy razem, bądźmy zjednoczeni, ale w różnorodności. Pokazujmy oczywiście to wszystko
and combine and unify, but in our variety,
Nigdy nie było jednego wielkiego
and
państwa europejskiego.
differences
Zawsze były poszczególne
remain.
księstwa, królestwa czy państwa, które razem pracowały bardzo mocno, czy w dziedzinie nauki, międzynarodowe uniwersytety, w których wykładano bardzo często.
Of course, Latin language right now is dead language, but of course science have been always based on this language. Thank you, Camille. How do you see a cooperation between the institutions belonging to the Tourist Initiative? Despite we come from different regions and we can share the same perspective, it's great to communicate and to collaborate. Work together to make our life better. And I think everyone needs this kind of cooperation. Of course, everything is going to be based on collaboration at different levels. Of course, nobody is the wisest man walking this planet, as well the most experienced. And the most important is to talk to each other, and thanks Bartek. And right now, so I'm talking to Camille. How do you see cooperation from young generation perspective? And I think interest if cooperation at a local level is really important and interesting. How do you see this cooperation? How do you see it? Thank you a lot. The more, the better, I would say. Young council boards and the other institutions let cooperate together. Let they found partners in the 3Cs initiative. For example, 2 cities can cooperate, but adding the other countries will be better. It will be different. For example, collaborating of these institutions from the other 3Cs initiative countries would be completely different and wider and better. We have contacted with young generation from Moldavia. We contacted them remotely because new technologies are worth being promoted. There is no need to contact in face-to-face manner. I'm pretty sure that if the meeting would be because everybody is fluent. I think at an international level, collaboration is needed. I can't imagine all the areas without collaboration at international level, because everything is even more globalized, and without collaboration at these levels, existence is not possible. And I think it is the right time for a summary. I would like to invite to Krasichan in September. And we gonna apply a new formula, because every single attendee will be an organizer at the same time. everybody is invited to enroll, because subscription is written in Polish as well in English. If you are outside of 3Cs countries, you are also invited. I have made some notes. I believe that are pretty wise. Dialogue and this cooperation, this relationship, I fully agree with you guys. And Bartek and Kamil underlined global and local level incorporation. This relation and the connection, the natural connection with everything which is going on at local level. As Schumana acted, going from local to global level. It can be an abstraction, like local affairs are important, but global can be neglected. That's not like that. And sharing these ideas with each other. And from the political system transformation, some bilateral agreements were formed. Domination of Western countries caused a lack of power or motivations to build a relationship between 3Cs initiative countries. Of course, it is clearly seen in the case of deficit of cooperation between the universities in the 3Cs initiative countries. You guys as young people, it trigger you. That's the right time to go back to the same emotions and relations. My homeland is my big homeland. It rattles in your hearts. And Schumann didn't want to be a member of parliament, but some other people saw this and forced Schumann to make the right decision. And this doesn't mean that the present problems and issues are not so important. Young generation of council of justice is important. We are actually working on infrastructure which will be technically advanced. We are actually on 15 or 16 this kind of systems. It would mean that every single region will have its own system. Okay, which country in the 3Cs initiative country you like the best? Plan is to communicate each regions and to allow the connectors to share the thoughts. maybe you guys from this classroom have any questions, because that's the right time to finish the festival and this panel. I would like to thank all the people who have attended, the people who have attended in Odolanów, right here in Zamość. Maybe thousands in the internet, on the internet. I wanna thank Mr. Prime Minister, because this festival turned out to be really fruitful in a hybrid manner, because some panels were held digitally and some other physically. Special thanks go to the leaders, I won't be calling you guys by name because it'll take a lot of time. I'm really happy that youth from Ostrowa Mazowiecka is here. I'm saying hi to all the people from the internet. And everybody is invited to take a part in our project and upcoming projects. And these topics which had been discussed during the last 5 weeks are realized in practice. And of course, you're going to be next factor on the way in following Schumana examples. I want to say thank you to our technicians, Ryszard Krzyżkowski and Włodek Osowski. They are giving smiles out to us. Everything seems to be very easy, but it's not. Because transmission streaming is very important. Thank you, Robert Książek and Krzysztof Malczewski for interpreting. This interpretation. also important. We are non-profit institution. And finally, to put some accent, I want to show you guys the prayer. Alright, I want you to sing Thanks for distinguishing me. I'm saying hi to you guys on the internet. in this way we consider the 6th Schumana Festival over and finished. Thank you a lot. Okay. Let's take a picture together, so